What is happening, Mr. Hollow? How are you, sir?
Dude, I'm doing really good. I love that video, by the way.
Yeah, it turned out great.
Did you sync that putt at the end of the video?
What's that?
Did you sync that putt at the end of the video?
Yeah, of course. Of course I made that.
Man, it's right? It's feeling awesome. How are you?
Well, doing fantastic, man. I appreciate you making the time, jumping in. I dug out my shirt for you.
Love
representing.
It. Yes, sir.
Representing the land. I know you guys, you're on the west side of the 216.
That's right. We don't know where the line is, but there is a line. Mm-hmm. And
sure.
we represent the West. And they always say the West is the best. So I'm sure we'll get some Eastsiders jump on, give me a little pushback. But
well, of course. Of course. Oh, what's good? Mr. Krim, what's happening? Appreciate you, brother. So I got when Holly's out of town, I take over the studio. So her little, if you guys seen any of her stuff, it was all a dream. So cool, man. How are things? How's business?
Man, business is kicking. It's kicking good. And I'm sure you've heard this across the board. We still got some stuff in the works. We got some stuff we're working on, and it allowed us time. We don't have time, but we made time to kind of dissect still what's working, what's not working, and always trying to like massage it and make it for a better atmosphere for the agents, but also, make better versions of ourselves. So sure. I literally just got off our lead impact zone meeting for our agents that are on leads, on the lead rotation, and getting that dialed in because it's all about converting the leads for us.
Good, man. Productivity. That's it, brother. That is it. What's up, Renee? She representing the west side of the 216 as well.
Yep. No east side haters yet.
No east side haters yet. Yeah. Then we got Nick. He's just representing. He representing downtown is what he's representing. It's good stuff. So, man, you guys welcome. A little coffee and coaching. I said, so Joe, man, jump on. He's like, hey, dude, we need to do like beer and something else. And I'm like, that's the evening show. We got the morning show. We got to keep it. We got to keep the coffee.
Yeah, I think Nick does cocktails and content. And guess who's never been asked to be on that?
I haven't either.
Nothing.
What's up with that? He's had my wife on a couple of times, but like, well, hey, what's up, Nick? No, it's all good, man. So really, man, the second episode, coffee and coaching, and just something, obviously kind of ingrained in my DNA. Most don't know the story, but, growing up in a coach's home and, you're just hardwired that way, right? It's just kind of ingrained. And, when you want to spend time with Pops, you got to go with him wherever he's going. And, high school coaches, that's their life. And so, spending time with him and just around other coaches and the dynamics and the preparation and, getting, athletes to perform and behave a certain way, it just kind of becomes ingrained. So just definitely something natural for me. But I also think, and I want to talk, kind of this with you. You're a great coach. I really feel coaching is a behavior of leadership, and it's a critical element, in evolution for all of us, as leaders moving forward. That we've got to, we've got to understand and embrace that, if we're leading others, there's a coaching dynamic that goes along with it, and we want to make sure that we're coaching and we're not cheerleading, and there's a real big difference. And I would just love kind of your take, your perspective. I mean, you've been you've been coaching with us, you've been coaching your team, for years, and so yeah, just some of your perspectives and insight would be awesome.
Well, you brought me up. So I was a little baby Joel for a long time, and what I learned from you, man, is amongst a million things, consistency. And dude, people hire you, and you've heard me say this before, because of how consistent you are in your fitness, in everything you do, and I look up to you because of that, and it's out there. You're on these accountability groups, and you're showing that, hey, I am leading by example, and that's the next thing is leading by example. And I was just talking with somebody about this yesterday. When you are, instead of telling somebody that you're coaching or you're training, instead of telling them what they're doing, if you lead by example, and for instance, if you say, hey, let's talk about scripting, if this is what you're struggling with, instead of giving them a script book, that's necessary, you're the one jumping on the phones and they're listening to you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're in the trenches. It builds for that relationship, and really breaking down not only what their goal is, what the destination looks like, but what most coaches don't do is they don't break down the journey that it takes to get there. And it's the journey on the micro level. That's great. You want to do this? Let's try this. No, let's do this on a weekly and on a daily basis. And then identify if it's working or not, and you tweak the business as you go along. Because if you can't do that, what you always taught me is they retreat. It ain't going to work. They're going to get frustrated and burn out, and they're going to hit that brick wall, and they're going to turn right around and head right back around and head back, when it might just not be the way. And it's about the 1 degree tweaks in your business rather than the 180 degree retreating that you do.
Yeah, I mean, everything you're saying there, it's the frameworks, right?
Yeah.
It's having somebody that can, bring in, out of their toolbox all of the frameworks and processes that we need to thrive and succeed, not only in our business, but in life, right? And so before, we can coach and train and lead others, we have to be able to coach ourselves first.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where that leading by example. I mean, that's like 101, leadership 101. You cannot coach another human being until you can coach and lead yourself first. Right. And especially in these ever transparent times. Right. You can't fake it. You cannot fake it. I mean, you're going to be exposed. And so many people are being exposed, and it's just going to become even more transparent. And so, you can share the frameworks, and you can share your experiences. And then, there's definitely, another element there, and you touched on it, is definitely, the high, we talk about it. You guys live it, right? It's the highest form of accountability is love.
Yeah.
And or a highest form of love is accountability. Right. So, really, helping them get clear, and then holding them to it, right? Holding them to what they said that they were going to do. And if they're not doing what they said they're going to want to do, what they're doing, then it really breaks down to helping them become aware of how they're behaving. And I want to get into kind of a model, with that here in a little bit, but for you and your team and the things that you guys are doing, like what are some of the frameworks that you're trying to give them to help to be successful?
Well, so the number one thing, and we don't ever bash any other coaches, anything like that, but here's what I know about, at least let's call my competition in the market. So first thing we do is we have a clarity meeting with them. Okay, it's a lengthy, serious, deep dive dissection of their business, and whether they're a brand new agent, a seasoned veteran, it doesn't matter. We're going to show them with the new agents, we have to make assumptions, and then it's the analogy of you got a plane leaving from Cleveland to Las Vegas. If it's 1 or 2 degrees off, you're ending up in Canada, and so we as we figure out make assumptions. Every single week we check in, and we're redirecting their business so they hit that destination ultimately.
Yeah.
And they're not getting burnt out and pissed off. So we have this clarity meeting. We talk about the money they want to put in their pocket. We break it down, honestly, to a 4th grade level. It's super easy. And that's the extent of what I feel a traditional coach does. They talk about dials, and they talk about the money they want to put in their pocket, and that's probably the extent of it. What you had taught me was you got to really, really break that down and give them a game plan, a blueprint of exactly what their business looks like. So after we talk money, we talk about how to track their business and how they can see whether they're winning or losing every day. And then that's what we check in with and we hold them accountable to. Then we hit them with the sales funnel, and the sales funnel is where is your business coming from? Let's break it down, every single avenue, and then we're going to come up with a game plan on what we're going to do. What's the strategy of every avenue that's going to provide these opportunities to your business? I mean, actually, this is what one of those boards look like after I'm done with them for a whole time.
Mad scientist.
Yeah, and so that's what we do, and I feel like we, you and I talk all the time about where we screwed up with this, and too many times I sat with people and I'm giving them what my goals are for them, and then when it wasn't aligned because I wasn't listening to what their life is and what's important to them and what really that they want to get out of real estate, that's when it was a game changer. Like, I'm now all of a sudden meeting them where they're at. If you want to sell 10 houses a year, that's great.
Awesome.
I mean, it's my job to facilitate the environment for your success, no matter where it's at. And I'm going to lay out a blueprint to hit that. If you want to sell 60 houses a year, I got your back on that too. So the clarity meeting is probably the biggest thing. And I'm telling you, I have had more, because of what you implemented, I have had more people text me right after that meeting. That was the most eye-opening thing I've ever had. My last brokerage never did that to me because they don't know. It's honestly, it's about making dials. It's not about breaking it down to a micro level. Because I think the best, the most successful people that we see, they master the micro techniques and they stack them, right? They're stacking their business. They go on to the next thing. Let me master calling fit-flows. Put that in my arsenal, and then the next.
Yeah, it's having somebody, as you're thinking through there, I was like, man, I want my coaches to have fucked up,
right?
Like literally, like just like done a bunch of dumb stuff and learned from it and improved. Like that's the people that I gravitate to, right? And that's why, if you guys have spent any time with us, like you're going to hear, it's not all going to be just, white, white picket fence and fairy tales. It's going to be truth, right? Yeah. The walls that we've crashed into and crashed and burned, like, ooh, ouch, that hurt. Don't do that again. And, that's what I'm looking for. And I look for people that have crashed into the wall, but they learned from it and then they've improved. I think too, a lot of the frameworks that we're looking for is, like you said, with the clarity call, helping them get clear on what the big goal is, right? Not just with their business, but what is the goal? What are we trying to accomplish? Like, what's freedom for you? What is that? And I think, when you can help people get clear on where it is they want to go, and then also get them to face current reality, right? That's a fact, right? So when we have those two dynamics, hey, what's the goal? Where are we trying to get to? Where are we at? Then we can put the map in place to get there. And I think that's really critical, to have that, not only create the business structure, but, I talk about this all the time. In fact, I've got this Sunday blocked off. It's the life plan, right? It's the legacy plan. It's the personal strategic plan. It's not always the business plan. It's the life plan. And what does that life plan look like? And then how can I align my business plans, my business opportunities, to support that, right? I think that's the key. And that's where a lot of people, they go, and Joel, shit, man, this, most agents, they can't think past their next commission check.
Right.
And so being able to help them, think long-term, right? So many people are so short-sighted. They're just, and truth be told, when cash flow is an issue, then, we have to become very tactical. So that's why, getting to a point to where, you've got a couple really good sales mechanisms, sales systems in place, and then it's all about profit, right? I think a lot of people, kind of get things out of whack, right? Get things out of order, right things right order, and big picture, what's the goal? What's the model have to look like? And then what's the plan? And let's keep that damn plan as simple as possible. We've been guilty of overcomplicating things, and it's a train wreck. And you said fourth grade reading level. That is like when we're talking like, hey, this is what I want to do. And like Zane's in fourth grade. If I give it to Zane and he can't tell me exactly what it is that this thing says that we're trying to accomplish, it's too complicated.
Yep.
Too complicated. Now, Zane's like wicked smart. Like the dude is taking my videos. This is no joke, Joel. He is taking my videos off of Wistia, loading them onto YouTube, right? There's little tricks you have to do. Like Nick told us that, hey, you got to do this step. You got to do this. He is taking them off, loading them onto YouTube. He's getting them all on there. When he gets them all on there, then he's going to create a playlist, and then he's going to put the thumbnails. And then I'm probably going to have him on TubeBuddy, get all the keywords. Like, dude, what?
Get him on salary.
He's getting paid. He's getting paid. He's motivated. He's motivated by money. So, although the kid spends it before he has it. So God bless him on that. But yeah, man, I think that's the big thing, right? Is helping them, input the models, input the systems, input the processes, but also, like you said, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? And everybody's different, right? Joel, your definition of success is different than mine, right? It's different than Mr. Freeman's tuning in here, right? It's different than Renee's. We all have different goals. We all have different objectives. We all have different definitions of success. And, you just awesome. Let's accomplish that, right? And then what are the daily activities? What are the small victories that has to be there for us to achieve, right? And to continue to move forward.
Yeah, it was a real eye opener. So when my business partner, who we all know very well, Al Stasek, before I was business partners, I worked for Al, and he's the very first meeting that we had. He sat down and he did and I'd say this if he was here, I've perfected the clarity meeting. He had a clarity meeting, but I'm going to say it's about a 5 out of 10. So we did, and he's asking me personal questions, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? Why does he want to know where do I see myself in 2 and 5 years? And every time we had a coaching session after that, he'd talk to me about the personal stuff that I told him, like, hey, how are we looking on, purchasing that house, or he's helping me make a roadmap. And I'm like, and it kind of really stuck with me. And man, I love it. I love it when I tell the people when they sit in here, I'm like, you got your personal shorts on, because we're about to get personal. We're talking money. I want to know what you're going to do with this money, what your goals are. And I take your success seriously. And I'm going to show you. These aren't just words. And so, one of our agents, they joined us, I think last year, and they said, by August, I want to go to Disney with my family. Never been there. I have my kids. I want to take them there. She's at Disney, and I'm sending texts. We got it. You did it. Look at this. Check this out. And so that's what coaching's all about. It truly is. When you see them succeed and you see that they're making a better version of themselves, and you're adding nothing but value in their life. And the right coach is every aspect of you. It's personally, it's financially, it's in your business. If spiritually is your thing, they have to be able to help you in all different aspects of that. And
100%.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I toot your horn all the time, but that's why you and I mean, I've been with you for as long as I can remember, and that's what you did for me. You put check boxes in all those. I call you all the time, dude. You're not going to believe what happened at home. It's like, and you and I talk on a different level, but you're always there, and that really stuck with me. And I take that into the way that we coach on our team.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. And especially pouring into the team, right? It's the transformation, and it's It's helping them just become the best versions of themselves, whatever that is, right? And it's the same principle that even with our kiddos, right? And even with our team, like it's their goals. It's not ours. Like you have to, help them accomplish what they want to accomplish. Now within your business model, right, you have standards.
Yep.
And so, if your model is, if you're kind of rigid and you're not open to having somebody that's only wanting to do 6 to 10 deals a year, that's fine. You have a standard, but you can't force your goals upon somebody else. You can't force that. Here it is. Here's the opportunity. Here's the agreement. Do you want to commit to that or not? And if you don't, awesome. It either makes sense in your model or it doesn't. And, you cannot want it more than they want it for themselves. And I think that's where I see a lot of leaders, especially starting out, trying to build a team, trying to figure dynamics and add additional pieces, is that they want it more than the other person wants it. And you have to remember is that they're not you, right? If they were driven and they wanted to build an organization and they wanted to bring on team members, then they would go do that. And so I think that's the big thing, that we have to understand is that, you have your vision, you have what it is that you're wanting to accomplish. And, you're adding people that complement, that want to be a part of that vision, right? Leadership, what's your job? What's the vision? Articulate the vision, build the team, and you build the team that are on board with the vision. And, if they're not, cool.
Yeah. Maybe
you can help them accomplish whatever it is they're wanting to accomplish. So yeah, just some thoughts, things that, we've seen over the years where people struggle. And I think that's one of the biggest things, especially building a team, is that, trying to make, your goals and that has to be their goals. And it's the exact opposite.
I've made more agents cry than I care to admit because I was beating our goals into their forehead, as opposed to sitting back, knowing it. And I picture myself like a DJ Joel. I got all these volume buttons. So right now our team is 43 agents. I got 43 volume buttons that, because I had this clarity meeting, either when they join or at the beginning of the year, I know where they're set. So this person, stay at home mom, with 4 daughters, and they want to do 12 deals a year, no problem. I got you. You're over here. Okay, you, Dan Walters, you want to do 45 to 55 deals a year, no problem. I got you too. And it's like I keep saying, it's our job to facilitate the environment of their success, provide them everything that they need. And that's when, Al and I changed our motto, our leadership motto, and it's the more agents that we have on our team, the more lives that we could change. Mm-hmm. Is everybody has different goals, and like you just said, and I want to help them all hit it, no matter where they're at. Meet them where they're at.
That's right. We've talked about that too. Early on, even kind of the transformation is that it just helping as many of the agents accomplish what it is that they want to accomplish. That's the most rewarding. And, as a business leader, I mean, we're still paying attention to what it is we're trying to accomplish, right? We're focused, we're paying attention kind of where we're at, revenue wise. I think, as business owners, a couple things to consider if you're taking a look at kind of where you're at, that first really kind of out of the gate to prove is really focused on what are a couple proven predictable sales systems that I can have in my business. That's really what we're looking for too, right? It's like, I need a couple of them that work really well. And maybe you're a prospector, right? Maybe expireds, for sell by owners, cancels, withdrawn, those low hanging fruit is for you. Maybe, you're on a team and you're great at online lead conversion, right? Maybe that's kind of your pillar. Maybe you have a strong book of business. Maybe that's your pillar. So you get a couple in there that are oil wells that are pumping for you. And then you got to focus on profits. It's all about cash. and really being able to stack cash, especially if you want to grow. We talk about this all the time, Joel, right? Growth sucks cash. I mean, you guys have experienced it. I mean, just look at thinking back just over the last couple of years, right? With that growth and what it does to cash, right? If you're not paying attention to it, it'll eat it up. So it's really all about cash in the bank, especially to that million revenue mark. Where are you guys going to be revenue wise this year? I know you definitely be over $1 million.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we are. I mean, the good thing is that we're going into in seasonality in Ohio. We're going into the 2 best quarters that we're going to have. So yeah, we should be right. I'm assuming right around 1.6.
Yeah.
The way that we're going to end up, we had a great quarter, man. Record breaking 3 months in a row, like ever.
Yeah. So everybody kind of listening in, just to give some context, right in that range, it's maximized profitability. And really that's done through, really productivity at the highest level. And so making sure that your people are being productive, right? And remember, hey, productivity is just getting the result. If we're not getting the result that we're after, we're not being productive. And there's a framework, and Joel, we can talk through that in just a second, just a really good model for everybody to kind of work through, that'll change your life if you understand the model. But that's really where you have to look in that range, right? So you guys, at that to $1 million, it's all sales and marketing. You guys are now, focused on profitability and cash, but also, really starting to focus in on operating procedures, right? Things are documented. We got systems, we got processes, we got things in place. And our people that are helping us execute it are really becoming a little more specialized, right? So you've got some key hires in there and things. So that's just kind of the dynamic where you guys are at. And, depending upon how far you want to take it, it's, the next stage, right. If you will. So, but yeah, it's awesome to see.
Yeah, man, it is. It's really neat seeing how business is ever changing, and you always taught me it's okay to be wrong. But what's not okay is if you're wrong and you keep doing what's wrong. So, we're constantly dissecting the business and checking our business plan and tracking our metrics and our KPIs. And then comes the accountability portion. The accountability portion is it's on the leadership level. We have a leadership huddle between, us and the staff, Al and I and the staff. And then we have a daily huddle with our agents. So the accountability, that's what changed for anybody who's on that has a team. That's what changed everything for us.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. And we could go into it. It's a self-directed accountability, but it's accountability on, we call it high level accountability, right? It's exclusive to what the agents want to be held accountable to. That's all it is. I mean, it's like, you choose, we're here. We got your back for it.
It's exactly everything you were saying right there is it's organizational efficiency is really what we're looking for, right? And it's not dependent upon you or Al, right? The business is not dependent upon you or Al. And where we see most agents and even most small business owners is that they are so controlling that they won't delegate and empower, right? They won't delegate and empower. And so you guys have sales systems, focus on profit. It's organizational efficiency, not dependent upon you or Al as owners. Delegate and empower. And now you guys are at a cool place to where, and this is what you're doing. And here's the flip. This is important to get for you guys listening in. Joel's clients are the agents. Joel's clients aren't buyers and sellers in the marketplace, right? So Joel as the leader, Al as the leader, their clients are the agents. So they're focused on how can I impact these agents the most, right? That's what you think about every day, right? How can I help impact these agents beyond just getting them to do and meet their goals? And I think that's a huge get. And, understanding as if and when, some of you guys listening in, move to where the business is not dependent upon you, meaning the business is profitable without you jumping in and doing a transaction, right? You guys have moved beyond that.
Yep.
And so, now your clients become the agents, and it's like, how much impact can I have into their lives? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking about every day. That's the framework. That's the tools that I'm pulling out of my toolbox to be able to give to them and help them, perform at the highest of levels. So that's just a huge get. And just kind of giving everybody some context, kind of where you guys are at, within, 43 agents and, making a run, 1.5 to 2 million rev. So it's awesome. And, you guys listening in, you're like, holy shit, man, I'm just trying to get to 200,000 in revenue. Cool. It's all the same principles apply. It's all the same. It's the daily disciplines. It's the consistency. It's falling in love with the mundane, the boring, that's the key.
Yeah. It's focusing, on the right things too. One of the things that I think is super powerful is what are most real estate agents focused on? They're focused on, I need leads, or getting face-to-face with people, or their bank account. And those are all lagging measures. And they need to be focused on the leading measure, which what we preach, and you might even give me pushback about this. We all know dials have to happen. Pick up your effing phone and make the dials. We get that.
Engagements.
But we don't preach dials. We preach create opportunities. Okay? So yeah, whatever it takes to create that opportunity. Now you have all the avenues your business can come from. You got FSBOs, expireds, social media, open houses, any type of lead generation that you're doing, your sphere of influence, referral business. I mean, I could keep going. I just labeled 8 right there, but everybody's business at your fingertips, I guarantee you everybody that's on here has something like 8 to 12 avenues that opportunities can come from. And now it's our job to do whatever it takes. If it's dials, that's great. We have to do our dials for FSBOs, for expireds, for the lead generation. But it's deeper than that. It's the text messages, it's the videos, it's the differentiation from you and every other traditional real estate agent that's reaching out to these potential clients. So you want to make sure that you're above the crowd. You're coming across as like, hey, who is this guy? And Jay always talks about in a lot of his trainings, and man, I followed him. I slayed FSBOs, man. His FSBO training changed my world, along with the your home selling system and stuff like that. But he always uses the words, act as if they should know who you are. And I'm like, that damn straight they should know who I am. And it's that mindset now. Now, when you have a great mindset and you're going into creating these opportunities, man, it's a game changer. And then tracking, it's so simple. Create an opportunity, show yourself success. Move that bus, move it down, and that way I need to do this on a weekly basis, and I'm already ahead of the ball game. But we're going to keep going because I'm a competitor, I'm a warrior, and we're going to get this done. So it's the leading measures that everybody needs to focus on. You need to live in the top of the funnel. Organically, your appointments and the money is going to come to you organically if you just sit in the top of funnel and focus on creating those opportunities. And I always have our agents, joining the team or getting their license. They create a word. I want to know what your word for the rest of this year is. And I hear a lot of everything, but my word, I actually stole this from your wife a couple of years ago, but my word this year was intentional. And it's being intentional in a lot of things, but think about that. Think if you were intentional in your business, in every one of your avenues. If I was intentional and I just take baby steps and I reach out to a handful of FSBOs every single day, and then I make sure I make my new expired calls and my old expired calls every day. And what you're going to find out is after you do everything that you feel you should be doing in your business for a well-rounded business, so now it's about 11:30 a.m. and you got the rest of the damn day to do a ton of other things, to fill up your schedule with more money generating activities. But truly, if you sit back and think, okay, what I need to do is only going to take up the morning hours. Everybody thinks like, they're beating their head against the wall. Oh, I'm going to be working all day on this. Well, number one, do whatever it takes, but it just, get your ass out of bed, get going, create that routine for yourself. And I understand the money generating activities and just all hands on deck, basically.
Why do they think that it's going to be so painful, and why do they not take action?
Well, you and I probably have laziness, but no, it's here's what I found out is that everybody gets into real estate for a reason. Okay. Mm-hmm. Most people that I have found, they think it's a get rich quick. They think, holy shit, I sell a house and I make a shitload of money. Absolutely. But what are the steps that you got to do to get to that point? And it's a lot. It's work. It's effort. And they just don't do it. They retreat. They retreat too fast, as far as I'm concerned. But a lot of agents that I know, they substitute their comfort for a paycheck. Instead of picking up that phone and doing what you need to be doing, they're going to go out and their buddy calls them and says, "Hey, you want to go to happy hour for a drink?" The cool thing is that I want you to go to happy hour. But if you haven't gotten what you need to done, guess what also works? "Hey, John, thanks for the call. You know what? I'm not going to be able to make it at 3:30, but I can meet you there at 5:30. Is that okay? Because I got to get a couple things done." Your buddy ain't gonna nothing can't wait until later or even tomorrow. Trust me, because if you're not happy, if you're going to sit back and be pissed off at yourself for not getting what you should have done, just remember that. How do I feel like shit because I didn't get this done? Just remember that feeling. And then it's a small amount of pain that goes into all the gain that you're going to get because you did do what you're supposed to do on a consistent basis.
So, we talk right things, right order all the time, and everything you said right there, right? So, the thought is that this is easy, that I can make a lot of money really fast. So they get in, they have this feeling, right? Thoughts are feelings. Thoughts drive our feelings. We're feeling creatures, right? We're feeling beings. And so, those thoughts create those feelings. Well, those type of thoughts and those type of feelings drive our actions. So if we think that this is going to be simple, this is going to be easy, it's just going to fall in my lap, I'm going to be cashing checks, then that's the type of action we're going to take.
Yep.
And when we take lazy, non-productive, waiting, this is going to come to me, this is so easy action, then we get poor, shitty results.
Yep.
And so, the framework, right things, right order. So then you have to look at, okay, well, why am I feeling or thinking this? And it's all because of circumstance. It's all because of the environment, right? Environment is stronger than willpower. That's why, talk about who you associate with, who you spend time with, the masterminds that you're in, who are those mentors who are pouring into you, because then that shapes our thinking, right? And understand it's what we believe. And all our belief is a collection of our thoughts. The cool thing about thoughts is we get to choose them. But we have to have an awareness that we're thinking in a way that is not serving us, that is disempowering. And so when we have that awareness, then we can make a choice. And the choice is that I can shift to an empowering thought, just like the example you gave, that, if I cut out early and I'm not behaving, I'm not taking the action, I don't have good habits or empowering habits, that I'm not going to get the results. So that example you gave was an awareness and made a choice to take an empowering thought that's going to lead to an empowering action that's going to give me the result I'm after. So if at any time in any equity of our lives, right, that's the framework. So if you guys want to write this model down, and it works in any equity of our life, and let's start at the bottom and we'll work all the way back up. If we're not getting the result that we want in any equity of our life, it's because of our behavior, our actions, our habits, right? Any of those three words are not empowering or what we need to be doing to get the result. And if we're not behaving or we're not, taking action in that way, it's because we're feeling a certain way, right? And we're feeling a disempowering way because we have a disempowering thought.
Yep.
Thoughts create feelings. And our thoughts come from circumstance or come from environment. So, change your thoughts, change your results, right? And you have to look at the circumstance and the environment and what has been told to you. And most likely at a real young age, there's a lot of shit in that bucket that you might not have put there, but you can take that stuff out of the bucket and you can fill it with things that are going to serve you, that are going to empower you. And at the end of the day, Joel, where I see people, agents that are failing, right? It's because of the circumstance or the shit in their bucket that they need to take a hard look at that, right? Because it's challenging their thinking, and it's forcing them to think in a disempowering way. Yep. And that's why I say, when people are behaving in a way that's not producing the results, it's always layers deeper.
Right.
So us as a coach, we have to help them have that awareness that, hey, let's break down the model. Let's break down the framework. We're not getting the results. We're not behaving. We're not making the calls. Well, why are we not making the calls? Maybe we're thinking that it doesn't matter. There's no expireds in my market. Nobody's going to answer. Nobody does anything. There's no for sale by owners in my market. I looked on Zillow. There's only 4. Well, shit, did you drive through the damn neighborhood? How many damn, right? So here's the thing. Our thoughts have to be, when you look at it, and this is the question, is it true? Is it true? Is it absolutely true? And is it a fact, right? And what is a fact? A fact is something that can be proven in court and everybody agrees.
Yep.
And if not, then it's not true. It's not true. It's just some bullshit story that you're making up. And so, that's the framework, right? It's like, God damn, man, I'm not getting the results, Joel, that I'm after. Okay, well, let's take a look at your calendar, Lord. Let's take a look at your actions, right? Oh shit, my actions are off. I'm not making the dials, this, that, the other. Okay, well, like, what are you thinking about? What's going on? What's there? And getting them to see that, and it's like, okay, well, everything you told me is bullshit. It's not true, right? A court would not say that that's a fact. And everybody here would not agree that that's true. Do you agree that that's true? No, it's not true. Okay, well, let's get an empowering thought. And what do we got to do to take empowering action? And then I bet we get our results. That's the framework, man. That's, and it doesn't need to be more complicated than that, but that is the framework to change your life, man. And it's hard sometimes to look in the mirror. It's not easy. Right. But it is. It's really powerful.
Yeah, man. You always taught me your behavior has to be aligned with your goal or it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Or you're not going to push through because it's always hard. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just said, that's bullshit. And we have a mural on one of our walls in it used to be our 100K room, but it's where the players go to play. It says it's the Jordan Belfort quote. The only thing standing between you and your goal is the bullshit story you're telling yourself of why you can't achieve it.
Yep.
And it's true.
Yeah. And that really stems from circumstance and the environment because somebody is telling you that you trust, you love, you believe in.
Yeah.
And, you've adopted their belief. And, you have to look at the facts. Is that true? Is that absolutely true? And so it's just, change your thinking, change your life, right? Yeah, absolutely, man. It's good stuff. Cool, man. Damn, I feel we just been rattling along here.
I got I don't know if this is the right platform for this, but I got a really good nugget that we're starting to implement. And if you're okay, I'd love to share it.
I would love for you to share it.
Man, so here's what we learned. So it's the lead. We're on this lead generation kick right now. And man, we spent most of yesterday talking about it. We got Andrea, who is our lead generator, and Andrea's got pretty much every hat in our office. She does so much. And when you know you have the right person in the right seat is when they just start doing stuff and it gets taken off of. She already identified that I suck at number one, lead generation. I suck at tracking it. And so it's just like, basically, she's just like, I got it. Don't worry about it. And so she's basically, she handles all of our lead generation. And what we found out is this. I'll probably get some pushback from some people on here, but if you have leads or you're running a team and you're giving leads, the true money's in your database. Mm-hmm. Okay, I get it. Necessary evil is that new generation of leads. And what I found out is the new generation of leads it's scientific. It's a biological thing that it's called dopamine. So it's just like an addict gets when they get their fix. Okay, a lead goes out to the agent or to you, and you get this illusion of speed. Like, here we go. And what happens? You may call it one time, and then you're gonna forget to follow up with it. And so then you kind of come down off your high, and then another lead comes in, and you have that same illusion of speed, and then the same exact thing happens, right? The results are consistent. Well, since everything lives in your database, so much money does, I challenge you guys to throw a video out to your entire database. One mass video, and the simple script is, hey, this is Joel. I saw you were on my website taking a look at some homes for a while now. Haven't been able to get a hold of you, but I just wanted to reach out to see if your situation is still the same and you're still in the market. I'm here for any questions or information you might need. Feel free to reach out. So here's where it's powerful. We have, honest to God, 222,000 leads in our system right now. That's 3 zeros on the end of that. Imagine if that email went out, that video went out to all of 222,000, which we are going to do. What do you think would come out of that?
Something.
So if you're looking for a ninja technique, go to your database on whatever you have now. It's absolutely free, and send that out. You know, and I've used the analogy before, but if you have systems at your fingertips, and you need to be using them to its fullest capability. Like 100%. Yeah, and it's the analogy is the whole the kung fu master. You know, if you're how many, so that's great. We got a CRM and we're paying for leads and they're coming in, right? We're a kung fu master. But how many kung fu masters do you know that are multimillionaires? Chuck Norris? I don't know of any other ones. So, But now all of a sudden, now we have the CRM, we're getting the leads, and we're doing it. We're calling, we're texting, we're videoing, we're emailing, and we're doing it again and again and again until these clients either buy or they die. And so when you do that, you become an MMA fighter. Now, how many UFC fighters do we know that are multimillionaires?
Oh yeah.
So we throw the term around warriors. Make yourself a freaking warrior, a UFC fighter. Utilize your system, relentless pursuit. That's when your bank account's going to thank you. It's not the lead generation when the leads come in. It's am I utilizing my time properly, the systems properly? Am I calling them and doing all this stuff 11 times over and over and over again? I mean, the worst thing that they could say is, my gosh, quit calling me. Yeah, that's right. We're aggressive. You need that on your side. And if not, hey, maybe you're not a good fit for our system.
The thought there too, and kind of talking about from a feeling perspective, giving some perspective on that, right? Like, what is the worst thing that can happen?
Right. They tell you they hang up on you. Oops.
You're gonna have a feeling. That's the worst thing that can happen. Yeah. Right? Think about that. Like, you're not going to lose your life. Yep. They're not going to maim your kids, right? They're not going to burn your house down. Like, the worst thing that's going to happen is that you're going to have a feeling. And when you think about that, you're like, that shit's so damn ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's that awareness. And that's where, from a coaching perspective and as leaders, is that we can help shine that light, right? Because what we reveal, we can heal. And that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to create an awareness and, know that, it's nonsense, and, we can shift to an empowering thought and keep moving forward.
Yep. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
That's good stuff, man. Sweet. Brother, I appreciate you jumping in from the land.
Dude, man, I appreciate the opportunity. I love
so much value. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. What's up, Andrea?
Oh, Timco's on. There's our girl.
Comfortable in chaos. When you wear multiple hats, you got to be comfortable in chaos.
Yeah, man.
Like she's comfortable in chaos.
The delegation was and you remember those days when I felt like I had to handle everything myself. And the moment when you realize that everybody in the office can actually do a better job than you, no matter what it is, ordering food for the company party or for the company meeting, all the way on down to lead generation. When they do a better job than you do, turn it over.
Exciting.
Yep.
Delegate and empower. That's the game. And
Right.
The more you can be comfortable with that, let go of control, the more you can grow, the more you can impact, right? The more contribution you can make to have a greater impact. And that's really what it's about.
Yep.
Brother, I appreciate you. Thank you for jumping in, adding tons of value, coffee and coaching. And love to see you guys all again next time. We'll be back probably same time next week.
Love it, man.
Cool.
Appreciate you and the opportunity.
Yeah, brother. See ya. We'll see you guys.